Hello, this is Elisha Bonga, and I will now present my commemorative speech. Good evening. How are you all doing today?
Good. How are you doing?
We are here to recognize the achievements of Dr. Silly F. Rabbit. Silly F. Rabbit is a mammal who had a great impact on the state of the world today. Through his work, he managed to spread a blanket of unity across America and the entire world. Let us take a moment to reflect upon the life of Silly Rabbit. Silly Rabbit was born in 1970 to Hazel-Raw Rabbit and Velveteen Rabbit. A brilliant child, Silly was often bullied by other children, especially during the hours of breakfast. In the 70s, as I'm sure you all know, it was a time that was rife with political focus on discrimination at dinner time, and breakfast was on the back burner. Not that many people were concerned with what happened and whether or not mammals were allowed to choose what they wanted to eat for breakfast. It was during this time in Silly's life that an event happened that would forever change his life and the world in general. Silly Rabbit's best friend and his cousin, Little Rabbit Foo-Foo, was turned into a goon for trying to eat Trick cereal. This influenced Silly Rabbit to enter the courts. At the age of 24, he graduated from the Yale School of Law. He immediately began taking up cases against breakfast discrimination. Despite his strongest efforts, Silly lost every single case. The world was not ready to accept the fact that rabbits and squirrels could eat cereal or sausage if they pleased. Everyone thought rabbits and squirrels were only supposed to eat lettuce and nuts. Silly grew saddened. On the 15th anniversary of Foo-Foo's death, Silly entered a local grocery store and attempted to purchase a box of Trick cereal in remembrance of his cousin. However, his purchase was refused. The clerk told Silly, and I quote, "Silly Rabbit, tricks are for kids." Afterwards, Silly was brutally beaten by a group of children outside when he refused to leave the store and attempted to get Trick cereal. This led to Silly's formation of the MAD organization, Mammals Against Discrimination. MAD worked with Silly day and night to give equal rights to mammals across America, and in 1985, the Breakfast Food Act was passed, which allowed all mammals to eat whatever they would like for breakfast. Dr. Silly Rabbit and MAD's work continued on after that victory. Silly worked with various politicians, such as Jesse Ventura and Bob Dole, in order to have laws passed that would protect the other freedoms of mammals throughout the world. Silly Rabbit played a part in the destruction of the Berlin Wall. This was because the Berlin Wall represented a tangible barrier between the breakfast of West Berlin and East Berlin. In 1995, Silly Rabbit negotiated a ceasefire between Count Chocula and Captain Crunch. The cereal strip has always been an area rife with war, and many politicians and lobbyists were afraid to enter that area to negotiate a ceasefire. However, Silly had the courage to stand up and stop the breakfast battle between the two mega countries. Even today, Silly Rabbit has still helped the world in general. Even recently in our own state of Louisiana, in 2005, when Hurricane Katrina hit and left many stranded in the city without ways to eat, Silly Rabbit flew in his personal jet and airdropped 10,000 waterproof boxes of Trick cereal in order to ensure that no one would go without breakfast. It is good that today our children all have an excellent role model to follow Silly F. Rabbit. He has made sacrifices throughout his life for the sake of what is fair and just. It is because of these accomplishments, and I'm sure the ones that Dr. Silly F. Rabbit will continue to make in the world, that we award him the Nobel Prize.